And we are live. Here we go.
It is now time for the Jeff Fox Radio Show. Turn it up and get ready to talk sports and entertainment with your favorite sports brother. Follow the Jeff Fox Show on Instagram. That's at the Jeff Fox Show. Follow him on Twitter at Sports Bros Radio. And follow the Jeff Fox Show on Facebook at the Jeff Fox Show. Remember to subscribe on YouTube to Jeff Fox. You can always choose to support Jeff on Cash App. $ Radio Host 1. And sit back, relax, and enjoy the Jeff Fox Show. Powered by Brand Star Sports and Entertainment.
Super Focus with the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number one. With the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number one.
Yeah. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number one. Welcome to the Jeff Fox Show, breaking news edition, everybody. I am joined by my good friend, the great Randy Savage.
Hello there.
Hello, boys and girls.
Hey,
it's a late night edition, man. We're doing this for the third shifters.
sorry. I had some editing and
This reminds me of my strip club days.
yeah, third shift. I remember listening to third shift. Fox Sports Radio with Tony Bruno and them. So
Tony Bruno and JT the Brick.
yeah, JT with Tom Looney.
And they got me home many nights, bro.
Yeah,
Many
man.
nights. So the breaking news of the day, Randy Savage. Ryan Flores sues the National Football League class action lawsuit. I have in my hands, right here, copy of said lawsuit. And it is 58 pages long.
Damn.
Yeah, 58 pages, man. Very, very detailed.
Have you
Wow.
successfully read the whole thing?
I have not. I have not read all of it.
I've only read excerpts from Twitter, but
Yeah.
I can't judge from the excerpts of Twitter on what is actually being which is actually being handled. Like, I'm just hearing from like some things like Ross is paying $1,000 per L in 2019.
Yep.
That Airbnb deserves to be a coach.
Well, we all know that. Facts.
And,
Eric Bieniemy, Byron Leftwich. It goes on and on and on and on.
yeah,
I will tell you, I'm very, one of the reasons I set up the Jeff Fox Show was to have a black perspective when it comes to media, and I'm not going to back down from that. I'm just not going to do that. I trust that my sources. When I worked for Fox Sports, when I worked at WQAM, which was CBS Radio, when I worked at 790 The Ticket, which was at the time ESPN Radio, and then later on Lincoln Financial, I felt very uncomfortable talking about racial issues because we always felt that we always were called racist whenever we talked about something which was racial.
Yeah, I think
and
because
we didn't like it.
I think it's because it makes a lot of white folks uncomfortable talking about race.
Yep.
So they'll always say you're race baiting,
Yep.
or
He's skating, all that other bullshit.
or it's reverse racism or something like that. And I'm like, just because it makes you not comfortable, this is something that you should talk about. I think even when we're looking at how it's like in the politics right now. We're
Mhm.
looking at the what's the name of the CRT, the critical race theory happening in schools, and you're not allowed to say that white people did bad things in schools now. So
Yeah, I mean, I've been even advised by some people that are very close to me. Hey, man, Fox, be careful what you say, and this, that, and the other. Speaking of race, can get your ass in trouble. I mean, I'm being brutally honest. Can get you in trouble, but it depends on what are you willing to sacrifice for the truth. For the truth.
people choose to want to be a martyr,
you want to step out, or you want to get paid.
Exactly.
That's a tough decision sometimes.
Look, like my boy Latrell Sprewell said, I got mouths to feed.
I got mouths to feed, man, but that's not going to cut it for the black athletes, for the black head coaches, even for the black sportscasters. It's just not going to cut it. Your boy looks like he needs a shave, man.
You?
Yeah, man.
I noticed
one of those. You noticed, right?
I noticed the stubble, and I was like, "You look like you had long nights, man."
Do I look like kind of like with the stubble? Do I look kind of like tough? Women like that stubble every now and then.
They do. I'm surprised.
It makes you look like a real man. You know what I mean?
They say some blue collar and the
stubble. Blue collar. Yeah, got the stubble and all that going on. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to make light of this, man. The situation. Well, what we have here, sir, is a major, major problem for the National Football League. This is not a Miami Dolphin problem. Right. This is an NFL problem. Yeah. It's a major, major problem. It's been going around for years. And I think Brian Flores made a calculated decision after consulting with his attorneys. And they said, you know what? Sue him.
You got a case.
And they said, you got a case. And they said to him, it's over with, though. It's over with. Like, get your money and get the hell out of it.
Facts.
And Brian Flores decided, because simply put, man, there's no reason that in 2022, the National Football League has one African-American head coach. That makes zero sense. There's got to be an explanation for that.
It's one of those.
Sorry.
It's one of them jobs that 0.000000001 can get. You have to be real. I won't even say really special to get it, because I've seen people like, and forgive me for saying his name, but like Lane Kiffin get a coaching job at 31 and be absolute garbage, or Dennis Allen get the job at the Raiders, or Coach Philbin.
All you gotta do,
just get a job. A lot of them will just offer just being, I guess,
white people get hired on a hunch.
Yeah,
sometimes you can get hired on a hunch. Ain't no brother getting hired on a hunch,
right? Like, you have to legit.
Actually, you know what? I think that Byron Leftwich guy might really, really pan out.
Like, Byron Leftwich was a successful quarterback for about 10 years, in Jacksonville, no less. He had two quarterbacks that have been great in the league, even though Jameis had 30 interceptions. It had a great offenses, won a Super Bowl, yet can't get a job, So, I mean, it's something that expands further than the NFL. You look at it in college. Barely any brothers are getting any college jobs right now, and that's why, we are proud of the Deion Sanders, who's at Jackson State, or the Hugh Jacksons, who's at Grambling right now, or my boy Eddie George at TSU.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be proud of that, what they're doing with the colleges, but the pros is like I said earlier in the Twitter, that it's a dirty game, man. Good old boy network.
They dropped the ball. They dropped the ball. I don't think. I will say this. I don't think this is necessarily about the Miami Dolphins. And I'm not, and I people are going to take shots at me because you know what, you're trying to protect the Dolphins and you're trying to protect your relationship with. Nah, it's not that. I know the Dolphin guys. They've never gotten at me for being objective. I've killed the Dolphins when there has been need to kill them, but in this case, and maybe and hopefully I can articulate it right. I don't think this story is about a racist Dolphin organization.
Right.
I think it's about a racist National Football League, of which the Miami Dolphins are a part of the National Football League. I think this is more about them.
It's the system. You look at it, it's something that's gone on since forever. The Dolphins hired a black GM to go along with a black head of scouting, and another one also.
I remember when that happened, and I wrote about it. I wrote about it. I commended the Dolphins. I kept saying they were a step ahead of all of the other teams around the NFL because they put black people in charge.
And a black quarterback.
This was at the height of the whole Colin Kaepernick issue.
Right.
No.
Yeah, for something like that's good on one hand, the other hand is kind of dirty because of what's happened with the team since
I'm not absolving them of any responsibility.
The boss has taken over since he's gotten it from Huizinga. You're talking about the coach doing coke. I'm sorry, a powdery white substance in the office.
Yeah.
Bullygate. A bunch of players leaving here, burning bridges like Miko and Minka, and a lot of stuff going on with this franchise. I love the Dolphins. I'm a proud Miami Dolphins fan. Like, as my first true love. Well, besides my mama, but my first true love was the Miami Dolphins. So
you compared it to your mom?
It was my first love, man.
I get you. But yeah, the news of the day is that Brian Flores, so he's communicating with Bill Belichick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, Belichick, kind of reaches out to him. The text messages read, sounds like you've landed. Congrats. And Brian Flores responded, did you hear something that I didn't hear? And then Belichick goes, Giants, Flores responds, I interview on Thursday. I think I have a shot at it. Belichick responds, I got it. I hear from Buffalo and New York Giants that you are their guy. Hope it works out if you want it.
Yep, BB. Oh, cool.
Yep.
I think you're talking about Brian Daboll and not Brian Flores.
Yep.
So hilarious, bro.
It's hilarious. And then he goes, sorry, fuck this up. And then the dominoes fall where they may.
Facts.
But Brian Flores was confused by it. But I'm telling you right now, I believe that this type of a coaching search is what typically goes on in the National Football League.
We got the Rooney Rule, man.
There can only be this type of assumption that it typically goes on in the National Football League.
I agree. You look at it like how long we
owners have danced around the Rooney Rule for years. They've danced around it for years.
Bringing in Leslie Frazier or Art Shell, parading them around like, hey,
we knew this happened though. We knew that this was something that goes on around the league.
Right.
Practice. Right. They kind of got caught this time with their hands in the cookie jar. And now the NFL's PR machine is going to try to spin this a certain way.
Facts. I agree. But my thing
it will be a disgruntled Brian Flores angry because he didn't get the job with the Giants,
Sure.
decided to pull the race card.
Exactly. My thing is, it's just I'm not calling him a hypocrite. But I mean, you're looking at how he treated
Be careful.
how he treated my boy Cap, and how he treated.
You're looking at how he treated. Be careful. Yeah.
How he. But honestly, what's with Kenny Stills and then Cap, and told him tough titty, bro. We're gonna have to get rid of you with Larry Tunsil. Like now that you get rid of them, and now you want to be the martyr because you didn't get the job with the Giants, bro. Like, come on, fam.
How they're gonna spin it. I think this is a common practice in the NFL.
My dog,
just like with the John Gruden emails, John Gruden felt very comfortable saying what he said
in paper.
In those emails, he felt very comfortable. Why? Because these types of conversations are had all the time.
My thing is, if you're going to do anything, like keep your racism in air. Like I would never put it in writing or in text or whatever. I think racism is terrible. But if you're going to do anything, just do it just out of mouth, because nobody can really judge what anybody say via mouth, because he say, she say, but Lord, putting it in writing is like a death note.
You got a good old boy network at play, man. It is what it is. And they, this type of stuff with the NFL has been going on for years. And I'm telling you, decades and decades.
Facts.
No, I mean, you would have thought that in the year 2022, at least 1/3, at least maybe close to 50% of the NFL teams have had black coaches. 7 teams, I do believe it's 7, have never had a black coach ever.
And I'm even look at the Giants. The Giants, I don't think had a black coach, and they've only had one black quarterback in the city of New York at that, which is crazy.
That would be Geno?
Geno Smith, yeah, the Giants.
Geno's the only black quarterback they've ever had in New York. Starting black quarterback.
Right.
Are you sure?
Look it up, man.
Wow.
One black quarterback. I mean, if you look at
Cameron Powers, thank you for your comment. Cameron Powers says, before you say, come on, bro, about him filing the lawsuit, read the filing. The NFL's history is laid out plain as day. They're not interviewing brothers to hire them. Facts. I agree with that. They're interviewing them to comply with the Rooney rules. They're sham interviews. Exactly. And what I said to you earlier was this goes on all the time.
All the time. Leslie Frazier is one. Art Shell. They parade my boy Jim Caldwell out every year. It happens on and on and on. But you got to understand, these coaches or these owners or GMs, whoever's doing the hiring, know who they're going to hire already.
Yep. And that would explain the Denver Broncos allegedly showing up for the Brian Flores interview wasted. Like, like showing up like they had a hard night because they did. We got to go interview this dude tomorrow. And they used another figure of speech, and it was just a formality. Then the Broncos. The NFL issues a statement. Oh boy, they were in scramble mode today.
Yeah.
They were in scramble mode today.
That just tells me Happy Black History Month.
Oh, it got off to a banging start today.
Right after Tom Brady retired, which is crazy.
Yeah, meanwhile, Tom Brady's, But yep. And I'm telling you, man, this thing gets out, and I don't know, man. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but this could be a moment in history that we could look back on.
Yeah. I mean,
but it's going to take a monumental effort.
What are the ways that are ways that the NFL can avoid scrutiny? I think one, adding a owner that's a black owner or minority owner. Yeah, you got the Wolves in Minnesota
Ultimately, you
or
make a good point, sir.
Mike Brown.
You make a good point. It goes back to ownership.
Having a black majority owner,
You've got to include in a black ownership group or a black individual into the club, into the ownership club, and he better not be, treated differently. I know we have Khan in Jacksonville, but we need black ownership. That's
in the Wolves in Minnesota too. But you look at Denver. Denver's up for sale right now.
Yep.
And I've heard they said Diddy was interested in Bryant or something like that. But I mean, a good thing would that to help out the league would be to get black ownership. I mean, there are X amount of black billionaires out there, and that will help out with PR instead of just hiring Jay-Z and saying, we're a little bit done with kneeling. Let's put racism in the back of helmets right quick.
And racism. All of this is bullshit. It is. And I said, man, Jeff, don't get on here and be, just come off as, but I gotta be honest, man. I can't do it any other way. It's bullshit. The NFL has been bullshitting us for years.
All right.
And they fucked up basically today. Brian Flores was the wrong one to run this type of game on. And Brian Flores made a calculated decision that I'm going to sacrifice my career because we all know he's probably going to get blackballed.
Well, is he?
And I'm sure he knows that.
Is he going to coach, even be a defensive coordinator for a team anymore?
I think like he said in his statement, I think he let me see if I can find a copy. Did you read a statement that he released?
I did see.
Here he goes. He says, God has gifted me with a special talent to coach the game of football, but the need for change is bigger than my personal goals. Read into that. In making the decision to file the class action complaint today, I understand that I may be risking coaching the game that I love, and that has done so much for my family and me. My sincere hope, though, is that by standing up against systemic racism in the NFL, others will join me to ensure that positive change is made for generations to come. The reason he said that is because for generations like this one that we're currently in, that day has not come yet. And the Rooney Rule just does not work because NFL ownership dances around it.
Yeah. They know who they're going to hire, and they make it a complete sham. Like Cameron said.
And you got to think, put yourself in Brian Flores' shoe. Let's say these allegations are true. And Belichick is aware that the Giants are hiring Daboll, whom he intended to text in the first place. They hadn't conducted the interview with Flores yet. So in their inner circle, they knew that Daboll was their choice, and Flores hadn't been interviewed yet. I call bullshit, sir. I call bullshit.
This
my thing. Second time that this particular scenario has played out for him.
It's just my thing. If Brian Flores wants to be the beacon about coaches not getting a chance, the way that he left the team, how he tried to throw dirt on the team when he left. While he had his issues with that team, not really doing much with the offense, having 4 offensive coordinators, people not being able to work with him, or him having terrible communication with the team.
Well, this is going to get deep. This has many, many tentacles, as my friend Mark Hochman said today. This has many, many different ways and directions that this can go. But I can tell you, I can name some very good coaches that were given a shot that never got another shot again. Why does this happen? How does the NFL in 2022 only have one coach? Why are they always looking for the next Sean McVay and not the next Eric Bieniemy or the next Byron Leftwich? How come a quarterback like Josh McCown or McCown or whatever you say his name? Yeah, did you hear that?
I did.
That he was considered for a head coaching position?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody stupid.
Remember, 1 out of 32. These are very of the 0.0000001 can get these jobs, and they usually pay like $5, $6, $7 million a year. As a coach. What were they saying? Something about John Gruden getting a 10-year, $100 million contract.
Brother ain't gonna never get that.
Brother ain't gonna. These are very, very few. Jobs are very few and far in between, and they're giving their franchises to these guys. I won't say they're clearly vetting them correctly, but a lot of the times it's like they know who they're gonna get. They know who they're gonna get. I mean, I'm happy for my boy Tony Dungy. I'm happy Tony Dungy came in, won his championship, left on his own powers. I'm happy that Herm Edwards got a chance. For me as an assistant, and then coaching the Jets and coaching the Chiefs for a little bit, and then now he's in college. I'm happy there are opportunities to coach. But these jobs,
I can name so many other brothers, man. Brothers like Hugh Jackson, they just got one shot.
I mean, Hugh Jackson also did go 0-16, almost 2 years collectively of no wins at all with that Browns team.
That was a garbage ass team, man. Come on,
as bad as worse than the Dolphins were too. So
that was a garbage team. Sorry,
they're
but that's the type of jobs that typically get offered to African Americans. I mean, look at the situation in Houston. In and out, 1 year.
Yeah, that's Cully, right? David Cully.
Yeah. In and out, 1 year, a year. That does not happen.
That was weird. I agree with you on that because he was given no expectations, and surprisingly, they won 4 games. With a quarterback who was a 3rd round pick.
He overperformed
and still got fired.
No Deshaun Watson. That was a miracle that they won 4 games.
Exactly.
And the team played hard. But you know what he got for that? He got the boot.
Well, I mean, depending on how that contract was, he's getting money back, even though he did get fired. I was going to say, this is a good thing, especially about those type of jobs. You get fired, but you guaranteed the rest of your contract.
It ain't about that, though. It ain't about that.
I can get fired from my job, and I ain't getting nothing back.
You're talking about personal compensation. You're talking about personal gain. Overall, for African Americans in the National Football League, you have no hope. This appears to be a hopeless situation that will continue because it's of a good old boy network. And until there is change, and I'm talking about real support for Brian Flores among the players, the executives around the NFL, nothing is going to change.
This is what the players. This is what it is all about for the players: getting paid, going home, and then not having to worry about a check. Executives maybe may care a little bit about it more, but a majority of those executives are as white as bones, so we really can't do anything about that. It's just going to be status quo. This is going to go on until tomorrow, until some TMZ breaks news about Kim Kardashian and her dating Pete Davidson tomorrow, and this is all going to go away.
I watched all the talking heads today. That's why we got on here so late. I wanted to see what Wilbon had to say. I missed The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard, my friend, and Rob Parker. Great show that comes on nightly on Fox. And I've been waiting also to hear locally what the national media, the local media rather, has to say. Because again, I haven't heard. I mean, when it comes to the Miami Dolphins under the Ross ownership, okay, I've heard the word dysfunctional and all that stuff, and I thought they kind of cleaned it up. I thought they got away from all of that.
I
But
mean,
again, when you're dealing with the NFL as a whole, you're dealing with a racist league that is hypocritical with all of the messages. And now it appears that all of that is hypocrisy if these allegations prove to be true.
it's
And I'll tell you, here it is. Here it is.
I'll say too with the league,
58 pages long. 58.
With the league too. Besides the Cap thing, where Cap did win against all their lawyers, and he got a settlement. It's just hard when the NFL goes against somebody. They really go hard. They legit got bloodhounds. Whenever anything happens, remember Bounty Gate? What was the one with the deflated footballs? The Deflate Gate, where they had deflated footballs with the New England Patriots. Like when they go into stuff, like they really go hard. When it comes to lawsuits,
one of the statements on this suit is, as this class action complaint is filed on the first day of Black History Month, we honor the brave leaders that fought so hard to help break down racial barriers of injustice. Martin Luther King Jr., Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Frederick Douglass, Jackie Robinson, and Mamie Till, to only name a few. Unfortunately, however, there's so much more to be done. While racial barriers have been eroded in many areas, defendant the National Football League or the league lives in a time of the past, as described through this class action complaint. The NFL remains rife with racism, particularly when it comes to the hiring and the retention of Black head coaches, coordinators, and general managers. Over the years, the NFL and its 32-member teams have been given every chance to do the right thing. Rules have been implemented, promises made, but nothing has changed. In fact, the racial discrimination has only been made worse by the NFL's disingenuous commitment to social equity. Ouch. Scorching. Scorching. Yeah. If you read this, and as Cameron Powers said earlier on Facebook, this is damning. This is. You might have to bring back Johnny Cochran from the dead to defend you, NFL. You don't need Johnny Cochran in them, like Martin Lawrence said on
the league, man. The league,
you don't need Johnny Cochran in them.
The league's got lawyers. If anybody's in trouble, it's the Dolphins, especially with their practices. The whole their practices are sketchy.
Steve Ross, man, bruh. This is a bad look.
Yep.
Bad look. Dolphins have great people working for them. They do. They've got great people working for them.
Great people working for them. It's just, man, like a lot of the issues we've had with the Dolphins, especially the 2019 campaign, where even the reporters are like, they were tanking. They're tanking. They were winning games. Why did they lose winning games?
Oh, we didn't even get to that, did we? The allegations of $100,000 a loss. Did you hear about the alleged meeting with a prominent quarterback that remained nameless?
That quarterback just recently retired.
Yeah.
Yes. Tom Brady.
Brian Flores, to his credit, did not participate in alleged meeting. He left.
Right. So, yes.
Brian Flores is his own man. Like to me, I think he's just a man's man. You don't make a move like this unless you have a very, very strong case.
I mean, even the whole thing with Deshaun Watson,
I just
even
don't
though
like where we are in America as a country right now. I really don't.
even the thing with Deshaun, he has 22 alleged cases right now that are currently pending. So we don't know what's going to happen with them. But like, the ability to get him, and then trying to settle those cases and all of that and try to trade for them. So it's like a lot of practices from my team have been quite questionable since the boss has been in command since he got the team.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the Dolphins got a lot of stuff in there that are going up against them, but I don't think he's suing the Dolphins. I think he's suing, like you said, the league. If you look at that paper in the first page on it, it says Brian Flores versus who?
The National Football League.
And that's who's going, and it's not going up against the Dolphins as a team, but it's going against the league.
Dolphins are named in the lawsuit.
Of course.
It
with
says
their practices.
New York Giants, Miami Dolphins, Denver Broncos. Those teams are named specifically, and then the other John Doe teams from 1 through 29.
Yeah. So a lot of their practices have been questionable, and I just hope we get some type of answer about it. Remember, these are alleged, so we gotta say these are alleged issues that are going on right now. They're not set in stone, or they haven't proven to be true. So we will see.
Oh, I mean that's
when we go to court.
Yep. And right now, when you think about the alleged quarterback who remained nameless, who everybody knows, he's probably going like, who leaked this story?
Motherfucking, damn, fucking.
Hey, but honestly, I love the chaos that's currently happening. Honestly,
the NFL just had its greatest playoffs in 25 or 30 years.
Facts. Now you look at what happened with Mahomes and Joe Burrow. You got these stars. The Dolphins could have had Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, Deshaun, and they don't have any of them.
I feel bad for Dolphin fans. For a lot of reasons, but this is an NFL problem. This is a Roger Goodell problem.
Yeah.
This is they're gonna get exposed. If these allegations, if this is a this thing.
Oh yeah, Justin Herbert too. I forgot about that. He just went off for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns.
Let's name some of the great African American head coaches
Tony Dungy.
You've seen besides Tony Dungy. Let's go. And I wouldn't call them great, but guys that we've seen get a shot. One that stands out to me is Herman Edwards. I liked Herman Edwards.
Yeah, you played in the game.
Now, I get it. He didn't win, but I don't think Herman Edwards was given a chance to win. Right. Cameron Powers points out Jim Caldwell. That's another guy in Detroit. He did win.
He won 2 years in a row, went to the playoffs.
And he got canned for it. That's true. This makes zero sense.
You said Herman Edwards. You said
Dennis Green, the late Dennis Green.
Dennis Green
was considered pretty good offensive-minded type of head coach, right?
Yep. Marvin Lewis, of course. You went to the
Marvin Lewis has. I'm sorry, Marvin Lewis does not belong in this conversation. No.
You gotta understand. The Bengals went to the playoffs multiple times in that AFC East division. AFC North division.
I agree with Stephen A. Smith there. Marvin Lewis was given many opportunities to win.
Right.
I thought Marvin Lewis had photos of the Browns ownership in compromising positions.
I'm just happy that a lot of
but I think of guys like Romeo Crennel, and granted, he didn't do great. He came from that Belichick tree, right?
Yeah.
Didn't do great at all.
He's still
But-
getting jobs as we speak, and I'm happy for that.
Yeah. Who else comes to mind? The guy from Rhodes, Ray Rhodes. These are just coaches that come to mind.
Oh, Todd
I'm not
Bowles.
sure about what
Todd
all
Bowles.
Todd Bowles got an opportunity. He probably will get another. Leslie Frazier will probably get another opportunity.
And the great Mike Tomlin with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right? But see, with Mike Tomlin, you talk about falling into the most convenient situation ever. That the Pittsburgh Steelers are the model franchise in the National Football League.
They got some dirt too. Don't believe it. But honestly, they don't fire their coaches. I think that franchise has only had 3 coaches since their inception, and they've been around since forever, honestly.
So here's what I gathered just from talking to certain friends today. They feel like nothing's going to change. They feel like the NFL will run a smear campaign on Brian Flores of epic proportions, which they will basically accuse him of everything from the knowing where Jimmy Hopper's buried to the Kennedy assassination. You know, they're going to put everything on Brian Flores. Everything's going to cut. That girl he touched in elementary school, that's going to come up.
Like, so you had a fight in 3rd grade.
In Mrs. Stewart's class, that time, he hit, that's going to come up. They will dig up every shred.
You're talking about one of the most successful businesses
ever
in the world now.
Yeah.
They can
afford hard. It will be hard to take them down, but
only person I know that was successfully able to take down the NFL was Colin Kaepernick. And that was it.
Really? You think he won?
He got a settlement. He won his case against the NFL and got a settlement. But honestly, I don't know anybody else who was able to successfully beat the NFL.
I was on that Kaepernick bandwagon before. I think he did sacrifice his career, but Kaepernick didn't get any support from his fellow black players around the NFL. Al Davis, thank you, Cameron. Thank you. I'm hitting all of these sound effects. There we go. Thank you, Cameron. I haven't done a show in a while, so I forgot where all the buttons are. Yeah,
you're rusty, man.
I do know where the drum roll is.
You're working way too hard, Fox.
Yeah. But I keep hitting all the wrong buttons. Yeah,
not even part of the conversation. It's great to have you back. Great to have you back. First off,
thank you. Great to be back.
Great to talk some ball. Even though after next week we won't have any more football to talk about.
Oh, yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Well, what is there to talk about after that?
The United States Football League.
XFL too? We talking XFL?
That's not a laughing matter. Again? Huh?
XFL too? We talking what the Rockies
XFL starts in I think it starts next year. But I am going to watch the USFL on Fox and NBC.
I'm not.
Well, let me tell you something. These leagues are here to stay.
Like the XFL before and UFL.
XFL has some money behind it. No, not you're talking about the 80s, man.
What about the UFL and the Alliance of American Football League?
All that stuff was just ambitions, ownerships, putting the horse or putting the carriage, whatever it was, however the saying goes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're gonna have a whole summer.
I am going to watch the USFL. I plan on watching. I
forgot about that. Baseball's in the strike right now, right? Or a lockout. So I forgot we might not even have baseball this year.
Exactly, Cameron. The USFL has a legit TV deal. and they may be here to stay. Cameron says.
I don't believe it till I see it.
There are tons of jobs, and that's what I'm happy about with these leagues. And the NFL has a monopoly on professional football in America because all of the great players signed with the NFL. In the 80s, the USFL had a legit shot at being a great league. Jim Kelly, the great Reggie White.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Doug Williams, Mike
Walker.
Rozier, Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
All played in the USFL. Sam Mills, the great linebacker from the Philadelphia Stars. They brought back all of these. Anthony Carter.
What happened to
from Michigan?
The NFL Europe? NFL Europe, you got CFL.
Hey, Cameron is on point, man. Cameron is on point with his messages. He says, y'all crazy former president screwed that up.
$1, man. He won $1.
$1, yeah. But those days are gone. Here's what's going to have to happen here.
Are they still doing Arena Football League?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Arena Football League.
Lingerie Football League? Is that still going around?
Yeah,
you got a 6'3" shorty trucking the 5'2" linebacker.
There's some kind of female professional league that started. My guy from the X Squad talked to some of the participants of that league, but I'm not even going to get into that.
Yeah, I watched the highlights.
Well, I can tell you, the USFL, Jeff Fisher is a coach. Who else has been? Colin Cowherd recently named some of their top coaches.
Oh yeah, I saw that
recently. They've got legitimate head coaches.
Yeah, I saw that.
So they will get legitimate players. I think a lot of NFL rejects will end up going there. And the Michigan Panthers, surprisingly, the most followed team in the USFL.
What's his name going to pop up from the dead? Trent Richardson from Bama.
Oh, him. I don't know what happened to Trent, man.
Johnny Manziel going to pop up that?
No. No. We got a team in Birmingham. Daryl Moose Johnston is the EVP football ops for the USFL. Looks forward to competing with the XFL in 2023. I'm telling you, what you will have and what you could have with the NFL is players from the NFL defecting to the USFL. And all it takes, I get it that the NFL's the monster league, the greatest business, as you said, ever in America. But the Bible tells us that David slew Goliath. That did happen.
Oh,
so even the mighty NFL can go down. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin Sumlin is the coach. I was thinking.
I got the coaches here.
Texas A&M.
Skip Holtz from ECU. Kevin Sumlin from Texas A&M.
Legit.
Larry Fedora. Todd Haley. Jeff Fisher. Mike Riley.
Legit.
Bart Ardress and Kirby Wilson.
And the guy that came from the Steelers, what's his name? Todd Haley, right?
Yeah, Todd Haley.
These are legitimate professional football coaches.
Wait,
so they're just going to coach a bunch of scrubs from the YMCA? No.
Wait, there's only 4 teams?
There are 8 teams.
They're only playing one arena?
Yeah, what you have to do, this is a huge task. I get it. I hate it that they're going to do this year, but I get it. You got to build up. You're cutting way down on the cost. They got a major TV deal with Fox, with NBC. You know, they're going to play all the games in Birmingham, Alabama. I think that's the location.
8 teams from different locations and played in one arena.
One arena. Well, different arenas, but it's the same city without having
Well, Perspective Stadium and Legion Field.
Yeah.
And there's
again in the 80s, Jacksonville had a USFL team way before the Jaguars. And in the middle of the summer, they had 75,000 people at that stadium. I don't remember the name of the stadium, but it's the huge stadium in Jacksonville. A game between the Jacksonville USFL team and the New Jersey Generals with Herschel Walker. The LA Express is another team. You know who played for them? Steve Young, NFL Hall of Fame quarterback. Played for the LA Express. Jim Kelly played for the Houston Gamblers. The run and gun Houston Gamblers.
Fox owns the league and it's committed $150 million to $200 million for 3 years of operation.
Yep. Now,
right.
Now, what these leagues are is an alternative for the NFLs, and I'm just gonna sound crazy to some people, but these leagues offer an alternative. Like players will need to start stepping up. If you want real change, you have to hit the NFL where it really hurts. And you guys know, without me having to say much more, Cameron, I think you know where I'm going. So you tell me in the chat where you think I'm going. But it's going to take some monumental shit to get the NFL to get his act right. And these other leagues, while it looks like, you're dealing with pennies compared to millions of dollars, they're just getting off the right foot. Thank you, Cameron. You said, sir. There it is in the chat, Randy Savage.
I'm gonna roll my eyes at this because
I know it sounds stupid, right?
Like everything that's gone against the NFL giant, everything has failed against the NFL giant, and this is gonna be nothing different, honestly.
So you think these leagues are going to fail? You think The Rock is going to invest hundreds of millions of dollars into his XFL, and they're going to fail as well?
Unless they're doing something very innovative, unless all their games are going to be on Twitch or streaming services.
We're in a different era, man. Like anyone that's old enough that remembers the USFL when Donald Trump owned the New Jersey Generals, and Herschel Walker probably still believes Donald Trump owns him, I'll let that slide. That slipped out inadvertently. Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to say that. But,
I would say like players that failed to make it to the league the last 3 years have been trying to make the league. Cool. Or probably players that retired a little too early that won a second chance. Cool. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, NBA season will be mid-swing. That's all that matters for me. And once the baseball season gets up and running, which I really don't care, I'm gonna be there for that.
The NFL is in major trouble right now. I think with this lawsuit. I think if this stuff is proven to be correct, they're gonna have some. They might have to get that chick Olivia Pope. From the TV show, they may need her. They've got a mess
TV for a minute while we're here.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about Power so far?
I love it. I can't wait till the season finale. And I think, I was talking with Rodney the intern earlier. I still miss Ghost, man.
He's dead.
He's dead. I know he's a good. He's pretty. But I'm done with. I'm not done with it, but the last episode, my mouth was just wide open, like the entire episode.
Yeah. Remember we got Tommy. Force is coming back.
Four starts this weekend with Tommy. I've got a feeling that's going to be a hit. I think what's the one name with Kanan?
Oh yeah, Raising Canaan. That comes back in fall. No, it comes back in summer.
Snowfall is on its way back. Snowfall.
Yep.
What's the name of that guy again? The Snowfall character.
Franklin Saint.
Franklin Saint. Damn.
AKA the real Rick Ross.
Yeah, it's some bomb ass shows on cable, man. Like, I mean, on well, if you got a Fire Stick, holla at my boy Rodney Theoc. That's it.
Hey, not only that, you got
Rodney the intern.
You got Atlanta season
Take
3.
away your government, Rod. Huh?
Atlanta season 3. Atlanta season 3.
I've started watching the show called Ozark because all my friends are losing their minds on social media about Ozark. So I'm in season 1, episode 3.
Yeah, that's a good show.
4 seasons I've got to catch up with.
You got
Island as hell though.
It's a good show. Ozark is great. You also
Brad Jones.
You also got Cobra Kai on Netflix. You got a bunch of shows like Murders in the Building Next Door. Like, you got a bunch of good television out right now, which is I'm happy about. Everybody, black people get TV too. Abbott Elementary and was it Grand Crew? Like,
I'm almost ashamed to tell you what I watch.
What do you watch?
I watch The Oval. And I watch Sisters. Shut up.
What was the name of that show? Oh, Euphoria with Zendaya. Oh, that's a good show, but there's a lot of dicks in that. A lot of dicks. Way too much to be comfortable watching.
What up, Mo Cheese? What they do? We up late, man. Talking about this shit. Mo Cheese from the X Squad, man.
Hey, shout out to the X Squad. Keep seeing them, man.
Love X Squad, man. Sports Governor Vince Wright just signed the deal for his podcast. Vince Wright, congrats. DJ Red just got off work, man, so he's checking in with us as well. DJ Red, man, is like, one of the biggest Dolphin fans you will ever come across.
Yeah.
And he hit me earlier, man. Yeah, listen, I have the lawsuit right here. The complete lawsuit. These are the papers.
There's a lot of stuff going on with the league and what's happening with these teams.
This is some deep shit, man. This is deep.
What's up, DJ Red?
This is some deep shit. For real.
What do you think is gonna it's gonna be a long process?
This is gonna be a test, I think, for black people everywhere in America. Seriously. This is game-changing time. You want to shake up the NFL, black players? It's up to you. It's up to you, the prominent African-American players in the National Football League. It is up to you guys. Nobody else. It is on you.
It depends on how that money goes, bro. Like I said, a lot of those guys are making X amount of money and they don't want to ruin it for them.
There's some stuff I want to say, man, that I know I just can't say. Even on my own show, even on my own network.
There's a lot of dirt. Like I said, there's a lot of
stuff that I want to say that I can only say in private. Sorry, folks, but that's just how it is. Because it's career suicide to say, certain things. Yeah. That's just how it is. But, I will say as much as I think I should, which is the outcome of this fight is on the players and the coaches and how much support whether or not they rally around Brian Flores. And you know what they say about us. That's all I'm going to say right there.
Of course.
By the way, Randy Savage.
What's up?
ABC News has suspended Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks
For
for comments she made about Jews and the Holocaust.
damn.
Let me see if I can dig it up.
If there's one thing, hey,
And I'm telling you,
if there's one thing that gets you in trouble quick, it's the ethnicity that begins with the
can we
J.
have the breaking news sound effect? Woo!
You can say anything about us.
We have breaking news, ladies and
You can say
gentlemen.
anything about us.
And now we go to our
Trouble.
correspondent, Jeff White.
You can say anything about our people and won't get in trouble. They applaud you and all of that. But you say stuff about them people?
Yep.
Woo!
Yeah, Mo Cheese, for telling the truth, bro. Because you know the powers that be, and even about us. If we support us, we don't need anybody else. And it's starting to happen slowly. Look at what's going on with the HBCUs. Look at what's going on with the HBCUs.
Yeah, I'm proud.
And you know what? They're going to try to nip that in the bud. You know how? They're going to try to cut it off at the head. You know what that means? Give Deion Sanders a job. Give him a head coaching job. Sure. We can't have all the great athletes in high school. Did
you hear about the
going to HBCUs? No, we want to keep him at Ohio State, Clemson, and all these other great schools.
There was an NIL deal for one HBC. I think it was Jackson. No.
Grambling. Yeah.
Grambling, that covers every student athlete. And people are like, they can't do that. That's pay for play. But I'm like, their likeness, bro. They're getting paid for their likeness. That's legal. So, and like, of course, the people that are not us, they're up in arms about it. So, and then Florida State people are mad at Jackson State because of the young boy that went to Jackson State. It's a lot of stuff, man.
I'm also I'm back to television really quick. There's something I'm watching called it's about the Emmett Till story, Mamie Till. I'm on. I think it's a docu-series or something, but I'm on episode 3 on that one.
How's that going?
It's just it gets you angry.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't like to watch shows like that. They get you angry. But
I don't know how you like to watch black struggles. I can't do that. I'm gonna fight.
You have to educate yourself. You got to educate the kids. And now there's a law somewhere. Again, I read somewhere where they're saying there's a bill, I think, that was passed.
Oh yeah, Florida, about teaching stuff that makes white people feel bad,
make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's a new day, Randy Savage. It's a new day, man.
Yeah.
The NFL can go down. Do I want to see this? If it means that we get to play on a level playing field with everybody else, have at it.
If there were more black billionaires that just want to put their money together and start like doing that, they should.
We've heard crazy theories before where people said, "Oh, they should all get together and start their own league." Red Jones says, "I stand behind Coach Flores." Take a stand, black man. Take a stand.
I'm not gonna ride with Flo, honestly. Like I said, I got my issues with him, man, on the team. But I mean, I agree with what it's.
But you know what? And I'm not trying to call you out, Randy Savage. You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
But this is the problem.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
It's gonna take brothers coming together and standing behind Flo, solidly behind Flo, well, this shit's just gonna crash and burn like every other struggle.
Yeah. We shall see. Like I said,
I'm a betting man, and I bet he just doesn't get the support, and I bet the NFL wins again. Sports is just, sports has always been our great escape from the ills of society. But somehow the ills of society have crept into our sacred sports world. And that's what's wrong with it. We live in a real world. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. We live in a real world. And a lot of society's problems, a lot of problems that exist in Fortune 500 companies around America, where certain people are overlooked for positions that they clearly qualified for, but they get overlooked. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. Shout out to Mo Cheese had Quincy Carter, my favorite NFL whipping boy. Mo Cheese had Quincy Carter on his show today. I wish I did see that earlier. Man, I used to love to just random Quincy Carter, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know if he was that bad, but I just love to take shots at him.
Why? Him, Aaron Brooks, too?
No, I loved Aaron Brooks.
Everybody hated
Quincy Carter. Aaron Brooks could throw that football, bro.
Aaron Brooks was always so great at throwing it backwards, too.
Aaron Brooks could sling the rock. But Quincy Carter, ooh, that was my whipping boy.
Thing is more because he was a Cowboy than anything else.
He was decent in college. I think he went to Georgia.
Georgia, yeah.
The man that he's thinking the NFL.
Oh man,
I shouldn't say that though. I think I'm wrong for that. I'm sorry, Quincy. Shouldn't say that. Yeah. Be nice to Quincy.
Oh man.
I think back then I liked the Cowboys and I wanted them to win. I think Belichick. No, not Belichick. Parcells at the Cowboys. Didn't they have Herschel on that team as well? Those really, really bad Cowboy teams. I think the Scabs were out around that time too.
That's when they had Sam Hurd as receiver. Antonio Bryant?
No, Antonio Bryant from Miami, Dade County. Yay. Yeah.
Bryant, I remember them teams.
They were bad. Bad Cowboys. That's what's the name? Was Godfrey Miles on the team?
Miles Austin on there still? Julius Jones?
They came later. Mochi says Fox, he didn't stink, but he wasn't great. He was more than serviceable when he was at Dallas. He just didn't want to run so he could prove he was a pocket passer. He said that set him back.
Oh, wait. Joey Galloway was on the
Mochi, I admit I was wrong. I was wrong for taking shots at Quincy Carter.
Was it Joey Galloway was on that team that all he ran was just fly routes?
No, those teams came later. The Parcells Cowboys. I think Julius Jones might have been a part of those.
Julius Jones.
Yeah. And I think they had
Marion Barber.
Dexter Coakley.
Remember Marion Barber III?
Yeah, he was the original ran angry like Debo Samuels.
Yeah.
He just wasn't as explosive as Debo. Yeah.
He was kind of slow, but that boy can run the pill.
Yeah. But yep. I think this is going to take this has really marred the 2 weeks. Like, this is a bombshell. This marred number one that this took away from Tom Brady's retirement. was Tom Brady. I thought Rodney, the intern, made a great point when he said that Tom Brady has to go down as the greatest football player ever.
He's number
He's
one.
certainly not the greatest athlete by far to ever play in the NFL. But
he's number one, greatest football player.
In overall stature, as much as it pains me to say it, because the Brady legacy started on the backs of my Raiders. And you know it. And he knows it. And even our new head coach, Josh McDaniel, knows it.
Yeah.
Raiders got jobs.
It's so crazy because
Brady's the greatest ever. He's the greatest ever.
2002, that was 20 years ago, man.
So
2001, man, that's 20 years, bro. That's a lifetime. That's a generation.
Don't tell me to get over it. Don't tell me to get over it. You're not going to tell Miami Hurricanes to get over Ohio State. You're not going to tell me to get over the Tuck Rule. You're not going to tell the United States Olympic team to get over the 71 men's basketball silver medal. Some things you just never forget.
That was 2002. So crazy. He's played 21 years?
22 years.
22
and
years.
Super Bowls. I would throw Brady under the bus, but listen, he's been a winner half his career. He's never had a losing season. Never had a losing season. I saw the list.
He's
never had a losing season. He's went to the Super Bowl, the pinnacle of championship games.
10 times.
Half of his career, he's been in the Super Bowl. That's Bill Russell-like.
Yeah.
She doesn't agree with me. Why Brady? He does agree. I don't know.
I think it was like between him, Joe Montana, and Jerry Rice, top 3 football players of all time.
Not Joe Montana, bro. No.
It was Jerry Rice.
No.
Randy Moss.
You know who I put in that category for greatest football player ever? Who was in that conversation?
LT.
You can't put everybody in the club. Sorry.
LT, Jerry Rice.
Those two I would qualify.
Emmett for a little bit.
No. It has to be exclusive. What's the name of the guy that played for Pittsburgh? He had the boys, and he didn't allow them to get consolation prizes.
Oh.
What's his name? You guys, Mo, what's his name? He didn't allow his kids to get participation trophies.
Oh, you're talking about James Harrison.
James Harrison. Thank you. This is the James Harrison theory. You cannot put everybody in the club. Now, Deion Sanders, elite in the conversation.
Elite athlete, football player. Yeah.
Thank you, Mo Cheese. Deion Sanders, you can put in the club.
So you'll say what? Jerry
Rice, LT,
Tom Brady.
Yep.
Walter Payton, possibly.
That's tough. That's a good one. I don't know about Walter Payton. I don't.
For me, Randy Moss, of course. That was the greatest thing I've ever. Randy Moss in his rookie season, with all was it Randall Cunningham? What dude was throwing it up to him?
Look it up.
Catch it.
We're talking all-time great.
Jim
Brown. Yeah, I think I got to go with Jim. Even though I never saw Jim Brown play, the stories. Have you ever heard Richard Pryor, the great comedian, talk about Jim Brown?
Yeah.
He made Jim Brown sound like,
I remember watching a film of Jim Brown.
Jim Brown, I think, retired at a very young age.
And retired at 29. I remember watching him play, and he looked bigger than everybody and was faster than everybody. And
I think he has to be in the conversation, even though he's a generation or two before us. We never saw him play. He's got to be in the conversation. But the greatest football player ever, your top 5, that has to include Jim Brown. Obviously, we think Tom Brady is the greatest. So that leaves only 3 other spots.
Yeah.
Who do you put there?
I love Jerry, man. Jerry was amazing.
You have to put Jerry Rice in there, right?
Jerry.
From an HBCU, by the way, Mississippi Valley State.
Jerry. I remember Deion Sanders, of course.
I don't know. I want to say Deion's one of the greatest players of all time. I don't know. He is. Because Deion shut down the entire side of a football field.
LT.
I remember Deion with the Falcons and with the Cowboys and the 49ers, and teams would not throw on the other side, not on his side.
Oh,
they were scared to throw the ball on that side. But
Well,
did he do it? Did he dominate long enough to be considered an all-time greatest football player? Oh boy, that's tough because you can't include everybody.
So I said Randy Moss. I see Randy Moss be great for so long.
Mochi says Deion Sanders, LT, Bo Jackson, Jim Brown, and Randy Moss. No Tom Brady and no Jerry Rice.
I got Jerry played great for so long.
Man, I'm sorry, bro. You got to.
I seen Jerry play great until his 40s at receiver, rounding up young cats still.
Jerry Rice ran up mountains, man, like Walter Payton did. Almost right after winning the Super Bowl. Like, dudes like Jerry Rice, Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jordan, they on some different shit. You know what I mean? They're obsessed with winning.
Yeah.
And if you don't share that same type of obsession, you might get punched in the mouth like Steve Kerr.
You said he had a winning problem. That is crazy. That is
Kobe did?
Jordan. Jordan had a winning problem. That's why he was so great at gambling. He just wanted to win.
Where you hanging out at the Grand Prix?
Oh, I'm at the house, man. You know,
the street is right out your window.
Hollywood Boulevard, man. Busiest street in the city.
It's just like driving up and down over there like crazy.
Oh my gosh, I heard somebody fight. I heard somebody out there talking. Someone out there.
You ever lived in the hood? Like the projects?
Who?
I stayed in the projects before. I think I stayed on 37th Avenue Apartments, where Flo Rida used to live one time ago. Yeah. You would come by every year and bring toys for all the kids. Man.
37?
Living in the projects is different, bro.
It is.
Especially for a cat like me who came from like a gated community, and then I suddenly, because of certain circumstances, had to be cast.
Will you be like in Goulds or something like that?
37th Ave, man. Not quite Ghouls, but you know.
That part of Miami that nobody talks about.
Hey,
that South
shot every weekend.
That's the part where like you said, like what you said Kimbo is from and Dada 5000.
Mochi's is brilliant. Let me just say that. Mochi's is brilliant. I agree with almost everything he says. Did you see the text? Jerry and Walter had the ultimate warrior, the ultimate competitor attitude. I think Moss had more natural talent. That's what I believe.
It was easy for Moss, man.
It was. I remember that Thanksgiving Day game against the Cowboys when he just embarrassed the shit out of Larry Brown. I think it was Larry Brown.
Whoever it was, like Randy Moss just caught, like, you know, just I don't know, man. Like I was like did 360s and caught touchdown bombs. Like, you know. I remember as a kid,
walk and catch a touchdown pass.
I remember
it was easy for Randy Moss.
It was way too easy. They did the whole Moss thing where he would jump over somebody and snatch a ball. Like he was something special, man.
He was. That was the greatest wide receiver performance I have ever seen from a rookie. In his rookie season, he might have been the best receiver in football. Mo says his career is forever concreted as the dude got off on.
Randy was amazing, man. That was by far my favorite player. Him and I think Vic, but Vic didn't go off his first year. He went off more of his second year too. The game was naturally easy for him. Like in today's game, Vic he'll be incredible in today's game.
Yeah, he's still super fast. I remember the touchdown went up the middle, and when the guy went, "Go, Mike Vick, go!" I think it was against the Vikings. Don't get me started on the what was it, Bo Jackson Tecmo Bowl? Yeah, don't get me started on those. Those games were ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, Moshe's, that touchdown run was against the Vikings. Ended the game. Mike Vick, legendary. And you're right. In today's NFL, he would be something special.
He'll be amazing. Like if you think Deshaun Watson's good, like Michael Vick was like 2 times Deshaun Watson.
And my whole point for bringing up all these great athletes was Tom Brady's got to be the GOAT. He's got to be the greatest of them all.
I think he's the GOAT because he was more than lucky than good, because his teams were always top 5 on defense. And yet he had 2 decades, close to 3, where he had 3 different Super Bowl Hall of Fame careers, which is nuts. Hall of Fame career from his 20s, Hall of Fame career in his 30s.
You will agree that you can't take nothing away from Brady, right? Like, even though he cheated, people seem to forget the Deflategate. And again, when it comes to the mainstream media, they forget that Tom Brady cheated, but yet he gets all this adulation, all this glorification. And even us, we're giving him his credit.
Look,
why doesn't baseball forgive Barry Bonds? I just want to know. Why haven't they forgiven him?
I said the baseball they haven't forgiven Barry Bonds because baseball is old, white, and elitist.
Well, they haven't forgiven Roger Clemens either.
Exactly. And right now, I think they said Bonds and Roger Clemens are going out to the Veterans Committee. So, once the Veterans Committee is there, they're gonna vote them right in because they're both the greatest pitcher and the greatest hitter of all time.
Yeah, Mochi said it, man. Brady gets a pass for getting caught. Remember that he did get 4 games. Bonds never got caught and is being crucified.
Yeah, man. It's amazing because I think baseball Hall of Fame is a joke.
They're a bunch of old, disgruntled. They never wanted to go to the wild card playoff in baseball.
Yeah, and that was like
they just hate change.
Yeah.
Thank God, the NFL at least sometimes changes their rules and stuff, like the overtime rules. And I think the overtime rules are fine, by the way.
Have you ever caught yourself watching like 2000s NFL football?
All the time.
How brutal it was.
All the time.
With like Brian Dawkins out there hitting people and Ray Lewis. And then you look at how the league is today.
A great hit would get you a 15-yard penalty. But I get it, man. I get it. It's a tough business, bro. When you look at people like Junior Seau and a couple of the Chicago Bear players who took themselves out, like that whole brain injury thing, what do you call it?
CTE?
Yeah. Crazy, man. It really is. Mike Webster, Pittsburgh Steelers, great center. So many great players, man.
Yeah, Chico. Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, I mean that's tough, bro. That's tough.
Yeah, man. 'Cause you
It's
look
tough.
at it like that. I sit back like
Football is a brutal sport.
I watched the game. What was it? What was it? It's like Eagles and some other team where Brian Dawkins like took somebody and said hallelujah. Like,
Hey, you haven't seen real bruising. Like if they showed games from the 70s and 80s, early 80s, like the Raiders Steeler games of the 70s, when you had guys like Jack Tatum roaming the secondary.
yeah.
They would have brought charges to those type of guys. Me and Joe Green, another guy. And there was somebody, I think, that one time Terry Bradshaw, the Steelers quarterback, got body slammed on his head.
Yeah.
Like that type of shit, they would caught you off the field in handcuffs. The way they played football back then.
And that was like the 70s, 80s. And I think the athletes gotten more bigger and faster and stronger. Mo, the question here about is AB suffer from CTE or is just a clown? That's his personality, bro. He's gonna be like that. I don't think it's CTE.
Yeah, but that hit he got in that Bengals game. Who was the player that took him out?
What's the guy's name? If you played in the early 2000s,
he was great.
Vontez Burfict.
Yeah. I use him in Madden right now. Knock your ass out.
That dude had issues.
Yeah, he was an angry motherfucker, man.
If you played in the NFL back in the early 2000s, he was going to be all time. But he played in the 2010s, and they had to outlaw him. They were like, "Nah, you got to get your ass up out of here, bro. This is way too much."
Yeah, speaking of getting up out of here, man, I think we should do the same. I think we went way over our set time we were gonna do.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to do 20 minutes, so we ended up doing an hour 20.
Oh, that because we ain't did it in a while, I got some things on deck, man. I just can't talk about it yet, but some things on deck regarding the show.
Let me know. Remember, I'm always available if I'm not working. If I'm not working, I'm always down to do some shows.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we got a long summer, man. It's gonna be after 2 weeks.
Bro, the USFL. I'm telling you, get into it.
I roll, but you know what? I'm gonna support it because I will root for whatever's on television.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Dolphin fans, I love you guys. I hope y'all turn this thing around. Hope you find a coach. Don't know who I know what they're saying about for the 49er guy, but I don't care. I'm. By the way, you didn't ask me how I felt about my Raiders hiring Josh McDaniel.
How do you guys feel about it?
I'm happy with it. I'm surprised at how I feel about it.
Another Belichick disciple? Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Cheese, thank you, man. He says, yeah, no doubt. He says, we need a late night show, man. Randy Savage can't hang. I'm a DJ in the club. I'm typically up late.
I can hang. I work early.
Let's check in on our video on Roger Goodell.
People right
Wow. But,
hey, Roger Goodell, like, who talked about it? Stephen Ross, why would you do this?
That's stupid.
Exactly.
I would definitely do late night shows. Remember, I grew up on Tony Bruno and
man. I like the late night vibe. I do. I won't lie to you. I would do that. I do that shift on radio.
I was raised up on that. So
I caught the 2 Live Stews when they were on a local station here, WTBS, and they played reruns of the Stews, which was early shows that was on, like 4 hours behind. But they would play their shows, and they would keep me up, leaving the strip club, driving home.
Those guys are funny, man.
And they were great. Doug and Ryan Stewart, love those guys, always and forever. But yep, that's it for us, man. Randy Savage, I appreciate you hanging out. Thanks to everybody in the chat, man. Thanks to DJ Red. Thanks to Mo Cheese. Definitely got to thank Captain Powers. Yeah, he's
Cameron Payne.
Yeah. Did I get everybody?
Cameron Powers and Coach Red, DJ Red.
Without Daryl Henley, everybody, man, chimed in. We'll see what happens tomorrow, man. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. I expect this story to cloud the Super Bowl. Cloud the Super Bowl. This will hang over the NFL like you won't believe, for real. So thank you, everybody, man. We about to get up out of here. And we will holler at you folks later. All right, peace.
You've been listening to The Jeff Fox Show. Jeff Fox Show. Join us next time on the same platform for another exciting episode of The Jeff Fox Show. Remember, there's no Jeff Fox Show without your support. Continue to support The Jeff Fox Show via Cash App at #RadioHost1. This has been a production of The Jeff Fox Show Incorporated.